What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? It's December 27th, a couple days after Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you had a really good Christmas. I hope your weekend, if you had some time off, that you got some fishing in, or you're just enjoying time with the family. Whatever it is, I hope there was some kind of blessing brought to you, or brought to your life this weekend. And hope you have the ability to recharge. We all need some rest. Um, That being said, I wanted to do a quick little segment, nothing crazy, something about jigs. It's wintertime. It's probably one of the better times to talk about it, I think. Even though jig, this for me, this year in particular, it was something I picked up at the beginning of the year. Wanted to try something new. Like I said, I love crankbait and top water, plastics in general. So to not really have jig in the arsenal and have so many of them, it made sense to just pick them up and start using them, which if you haven't, I highly recommend. And I wanted to bring you guys a few that I like to use in different situations. Just wanted to show you guys my personal favorite to kind of what I started with to what I use now, and actually basically my favorite trailer. So with that being said, let's start. I got some more inexpensive units like these Strike King ones. Let's start with these guys and these Terminators. Not bad units at all, but they're not tied. So you can expect it, say if you buy a bunch of these and you leave them in your backpack, or especially if you leave them in your backpack, that eventually they're going to get worn out and the rubber bands are going to fail and the skirt's going to fall off. It just happens. It's just life. And what I'm talking about here is you can kind of see, let me kind of get close. There's a little rubber band in there that holds this whole skirting deal on. Great idea, but unless you're frequently using these guys, they do tend to fail. Still a good tool. Great tool. Great tool. They're not expensive either. So when you lose them, it's really not the end of the world. And again, I tried to grab all 3/8 except for these little ones. All these are 3/8. These right now would be something I would throw all black, itty bitty. I probably wouldn't even throw a trailer on there. Maybe. Depends on where I'm at. But something that small right now in the middle of winter, I bet you would do okay. Let's open this Terminator guy. These, I'm up and down about these, but they work. One reason I'm up and down is the head profile, just the way they sit. I don't know, not super impressive, but again, they work. A lot of times, they'll have a little rattle here. You can see that. And if you take it out, you end up getting this bulge in your rubber band. So I don't know. Plus, like the rubber, like the material just feels kind of cheap. Not super impressive. Not super impressed at all. Gosh, I wish I had a Bass Union jig here to compare to one of these, but I don't in the moment, so that'll be saved for another day. My absolute go-to, 110%, is a 6 cents Divine jig. It's a brand new one. You can see how the head's conformed, or contoured, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of a wedge almost. And I will say, a lot of guys will say these aren't good in the rocks, but rocks and in basic grass cover like that, you can flip these all day and do pretty good. And what I like to do, my absolute go-to, like for all year this year, has been Divine jig, that color, probably use Rage Tail chunk, bam, black and blue. But Rage Tail's super cool. They got all sorts of different colors because you never know, what type of jig, what kind of water you're gonna pull up to. Like and they also got the long boys. You can cut them down. Great. And I think honestly, I could be wrong. It's another color I like. The Summer Crot's a good one. I think that because these guys have that coffee scent. See here, that little coffee deal. It kind of
it's different from the average garlic. Maybe that's why they work. I don't know. Because I've got friends that'll literally take one of these, put a Ned head on there, and just catch bass. They work. Rage tails just work. There's no way around that. Like, it don't matter what time of year. Really, in the wintertime, that profile kind of slows down. You want something with a more broad profile than flaps, in my opinion. Everybody has a different opinion. This is just strictly stuff. This is literally stuff that was in my backpack that I used. Jigg'n ones, they're okay. But if you see how wide the profile of the head is, that guy, I just feel like it's going to get hung up more than it's going to work. I do like the fact that they put a number on there so you know exactly what this guy weighs. You don't have to kind of guess. But, and I think they're tied. That is. So they tie their jigs. That's cool. Plus, the skirting feels really good. It's a good jig. I can't get over the size of that profile head. It's rather large. I'm not saying they don't work. As I like jigg'n stuff. Shoot, I think my jigg'n box is out in the living room right now. But jigs, I don't know. I'm on the fence about them. Like I said, 6 cents is my absolute go-to. There is something about this profile. There's something about the skirting, like the way they tie their jigs. These jigs are tied. They're not banded. So you can literally run one of these for days on end. Days on end. And look at that. It's tied. So that way you know this guy typically isn't going to just, like, the skirting isn't just going to pull off. Like, look at that. You know, you can pull on that. Almost feel like if I did that to one of these, it'd probably pull a skirt down. Oh yeah, see, you kind of pull a skirt down. You don't want to do that. Right now in the wintertime, one that I would use is something like this. Just the tiniest profile. And that is not the best in the rocks because it has a round head, but they do work okay, come to find out. Because a lot of places, northern Nevada, that I like to fish, steep banks, rocky banks, you will get hung up. You gotta expect to lose a few of these jigs. And it's just life. That's how it is. So that's why I was gonna say, coming into this, 6 cents jigs are incredibly expensive. I can't remember exactly the price. And I don't have my phone in here to actually look. It's out in the living room. I think they're only $4 or $5, maybe $6 at most. And if you use Milliken's MF10, it takes 10% off. I hope one day that they have like an NV Bass code to where we can help out, and you know, you guys can get some 6 cent stuff at 10% off with our code. But we're working on that. Man, these Terminator ones, they are not very expensive at all. They work. Like I said, you could pick these up. I don't know if Shields sells them anymore, but Shields used to sell these for pretty cheap. I swear they were $1.99, maybe $2.99. So you can go out and buy a handful of these guys. That rattle's pretty good. It's not horrible, but and you're not gonna feel bad losing them. Same with these. These guys, you can run out to Cabela's. You can order them online. I swear they're $2.99. I could be wrong. But these Strike King ones, and personally, if I'm going to go versus, I'm going to go with the Strike King over the Terminator. It is what it is. That's just, I like the jig head, but I really, Strike King, not only are they a classic proven company, they just, I don't know, like the skirting of these ones, I just like them a little better. I feel they use a better skirt material. There's no comparison when you have a more quality unit when you try to, you're out in the field versus using something lesser. Because, I don't know. And I could be wrong. But in my mind, a skirt that kind of flows freely just in your hand and it doesn't feel crunchy or bunched up, it's going to kind of do the same thing under the water. And that way, when this guy is under the water and it's just kind of doing its thing, in my mind, this guy might not move as well. You know, it's gonna these arms are gonna be stiffer. It's gonna have a more lazy, more ugly profile, and I don't. It'll all any one of these really, if you fish them long enough, you'll catch a fish. That's just proven facts. But in the long run, when you're on the water and you're trying to utilize time and you don't have much of it, you know, say you're going after work, right? You only got a few hours. You're not going to want a jig that's continually getting hung up in spots, regardless that it's tied. It you don't want to continually spending time tying on another one, tying on another. I don't even know how much this is. I probably got this in, you know, a bass box, or one of the friends, you know, one of my buddies gave it to me because I got a couple buddies that really like jigg'n stuff. But me, again, it boils down to confidence. And my most confident jig, absolute, is a 3/8 6 cents divine. This guy right here. Even this color, I would throw this all day. If I was striking out and I was blanking out and I didn't know what to do, I would just throw a jig. Literally, I would pair this guy up with a black and blue rage tail right here on the top. Can't beat that. Look at that. I even got that on sale at Shields for stinking $3. $3, 7-pack, bam. Couple of those jigs. That right there should make for a quality day. You know, and again, this is all just opinion based. This is just stuff that I've tried throughout the year. I really, really, really like Bass Union jigs, but I don't have any here at the house. All of them are in the boat. The boat's all the way across town. Bad excuse, but these are the ones I literally had just in my backpack. So that's pretty cool. Because I didn't even think I had this many in my backpack. Because haven't, like I said, I haven't done any bank fishing really too much this year. So again, wintertime, pressure time, these little jigs, you can't go wrong. And they'll catch big bass. They really will. And I'm pretty sure these are an OSP jig. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. I think this is a 6 cents jig too. I'm almost certain that is. But I'm quite certain that this is an OSP jig right here. And that is quality. This is probably, shoot, I don't know, pretty expensive. But those work. Anyways, that being said, I hope this little segment reaches you. I hope you find this little bit of information useful. We're going to start putting out more information. This was just something I felt that was pretty useful as far as jigs go. Yeah, 6 cents. Let me know. Because we be throwing jigs. And February's coming. It's coming. So, with that being said, I just want to, hope you guys have a wonderful new year. Got a couple more ideas for some videos coming out. This was one that just happened to pop in my mind while I was hanging out at the house. Like I said, it's winter. And up here, you got to throw a jig most of the time. I mean, it gets slow. Things pressure down. And these are some of my favorites. If you have any questions or any kind of content you want to see, you know, as far as fishing goes, let me know. Drop me a message. Drop me some comments there in the comments section. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share it. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys.